Hi, class. Welcome to Human Communication. You are in Psych 520 with Professor Howriggy. That is me who is talking. Welcome to this class. This is an online course, fully online. So if you find this information wrong, you might want to double check where you're supposed to be. My name is Tony Howriggy. I don't expect you to know how to say that, so you can call me Professor Tony if you want, if that makes your life easier. This is how you contact me. My number is 951 203 8737. Please only communicate with me if you're going to email me through CBU email. Now, unfortunately, my CBU email, for whatever reason, gets inundated with junk. So I try to stay very on top of it. If I, for some reason, miss your email because it was in a slew of other emails and I accidentally deleted it or something, please don't just wait. Reach out to me via text message or phone. Just tell me your information because I won't know your number, and I will be happy to help you as best as I can. Because I'm an adjunct professor, I don't have set office hours. So if you would like to talk with me or meet with me, you need to schedule that with me so that we can communicate about whatever it is that is going on. Just some of that logistical information. You must, though, always correspond with myself and or any other professor or student using your CBU email. So it shouldn't be a Gmail, a Yahoo, an AOL, anything else. Okay, just to be clear, that's part of the rules. Now, we are the first session that will ever be using Canvas. I am new to Canvas as well. I'll get into a little bit about me, but this is my first time using Canvas as well. So I am expecting for us all to experience some hiccups, some frustration, maybe even some confusion. I will do my best to help you because I am learning too. But again, please, some grace and understanding. I will have it for you as well, as we are all navigating this for the first time. Maybe some of you are familiar with other institutions, so you're very familiar with Canvas, no big deal. I myself have only ever, been familiar with Blackboard, and so this is all just very new for me, but I do like it so far. So I don't expect us to have too many issues, but if we do, please just be patient with me and or yourself. This is new. Below are the texts. Okay, so you should have the DSM also, which is the diagnostic manual. It will help with just diagnosing people with any of your classes that you're going to take basically in the master's program. But anyways, you get the group therapy treatment planner, groups process and practice, and then the Yalom book, which Yalom is like the godfather, grandfather of the forefather, all the fathers of group therapy. His book is kind of some of the essentials of group therapy, a lot of more detail and science behind it. Yalom is one of the main people that created group therapy, and so it's a great book, and that will be one of the main textbooks we'll be using as well. So please get your books for your course. Now, I guess I should talk about myself. I am Professor Howriggy. I have been an adjunct professor for over 10 years. I think it's going on, let's see, 12, 13 years? 13 years now. For the counseling psychology program. I've done classes in person, but I mostly do them strictly online. Back in the day, I used to do them hybrid. I am also a licensed marriage and family therapist. I have been in the field for 21 years now, which is wild to say. I was in your shoes a long time ago. So I know what it's like to be a master's student and to work towards your hours. It is a long process. I was licensed in 2010 and started my own private practice, and now it has evolved into a group practice. So I have a group practice here in the Inland Empire in both Norco and Riverside, and we treat couples, families, kids. We do some groups. But that's what I do. And then in my personal life, I am married and I have 5 children. So I am a busy person, but with that said, I understand that you are busy people too. Oftentimes, online students are juggling a lot of different responsibilities. And so I get that about you. I know you might be working full-time jobs, have other responsibilities other than just being strictly a student. And so we are all busy people. So I don't want to waste your time, just as I know you don't want to waste my time. And so I do have an understanding. I have that appreciation for what you do, because when I was in your shoes doing my master's program, I was fortunately able to just be a student and I did work to some degree, but my work was able to work with my practicum work. And so it was just very different than some of the students that I've seen in the online program who are working full-time jobs and have families at home and a lot of responsibility and a lot of juggling. So I give you guys all major credit for going back to school or continuing your education and hustling, because it is a hustle. So also just a little bit about me. I love developing therapists and or helping you or answering any questions. This will be the case with any of your professors. You never know how you're going to need someone. So please, if in your future you need some help with like a private practice or have questions about the field, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at my CVU email. It's been my email for a very, very long time. And I'd be glad to help you or support you or answer questions you may have. There's a lot that goes on in our field that we don't cover in the 2 years you're in a master's program, because it is a little far off before you get to private practice. But again, once you're there, if you have questions or you need help or support, please don't hesitate to reach out. Also too, with your cohort and your people that you are going to come across in class, and this will kind of go into this part of the assignments, you never know who you may need in your future. You never know who you might work with. So please treat each other with respect and kindness. We are all different, come from very different backgrounds, have very different life experiences. We don't need to make assumptions about people. It is very easy to be very bold and brave in emails or through computer screens and say things that we wouldn't say to a person's face. That's part of what's wrong with our culture right now. So please be mindful. You never know who you could end up working with or needing to get a job from, or who could be supervising you in your future. So you guys, the world of psychology is very small, and I have utilized so many times people that used to supervise me, people who helped me like in my own like we were colleagues together, and when we were associates, that we run things by one another. Some of my greatest friends are people that I made in my program. One of my best friends is someone I met in my program. So please utilize each other, keep in contact, because again, you never know who might be able to help you find a job, or help you rent an office space, or so on and so forth. That's just my little spiel. We will be doing discussion board postings. There will be 5 posts. They're worth 40 points each. Just be mindful, like I said, we're talking to real people, so how you respond and talk to people matters, okay? Okay, this is I've taught this class for years. This project is like the vein of my existence, not because of what the content of the project is. This project is very important. I did my program in person. In person, we do a ton of role playing, a lot of role playing, practicing, demonstrating in front of the class. Because we are online, we cannot do that. It's just different. It doesn't work the same. With that being said, I need to see you working on how to lead a group. I have put in the announcements a vote. I'm leaving it up to the class to decide. If no one votes, then I'll just make the decision. You have to find a group of people to run a group with. Now, the options are, you guys can choose for us to assign you. I think there's 24 students based on what I know right now in this moment in our course, which means there'd be 4 groups of 6. If we do it where you're with your classmates, it can be done Zoom, so you can record a Zoom session. But listen, you are going to have to be group members for each time someone leads the group. So a group session is supposed to be 45 minutes. You will have to spend 45 minutes for each person to run their group, okay? The other option is you find your own group. So that can be people you know in your life, that can be friends, that can be family, but I need them all to be 18 years or older. You can borrow people from church that want to help you. It's a fake group. It's not meant to be a real group. So it's not their real problems. You're pretending, we're role playing, but you need to have the experience of being a group leader and planning a group session. So those are your two options. We can assign you students to do it in class, or you can pick your own people. Now, if you pick your own people, you still might pick some of the people in your class. That is fine. But those are the two options. I assign you, or you figure it out for yourself. Some people are like, I don't know 6 people. So they may be like, assign me to classmates. Other people might be like, I can find people. I don't want to sit through 6 different people's or 5 different people's recordings of their group session. It's up to you guys. I left the vote open. Please vote because it's up to you. But this is one I get a lot of issues with because people are like, I don't know 6 people. Okay, well, let's figure that out. Or they're like, oh, we did a group and we did it with all of our classmates and all these people didn't sit with mine, but I sat on all theirs. So there's usually problems either way, but I'm leaving it up to you guys in the majority win because I end up getting the backlash and I'd rather put it on you. So, and if no one responds, then I'll make the decision and it still will be on you because you had a choice. So anyways, just throwing that out there. I'm trying that this time because again, it's always an area of contention because I get it. It's 45 minutes. I get it. It's hard to find people, but this is really important because this is something you're going to do in your future. So that's my little pedestal, throwing it out there, letting you know. Group therapy demonstration reaction paper, that will be the reaction to your experience, okay? There is a midterm and then there's a capstone where you will develop your own group and go through multiple sessions. And then of course, we always give 10 extra credit points if you decide to do the course evaluation. And as we look, this is important. I think it's week 4 usually. Yeah. So your group demonstration video is due week 4. So just be aware, it comes up rather quickly. If you've been in courses before, which I'm assuming you have at this point, 4 weeks goes by very, very fast. Big assignment, 150 points of your grade. I know it's time consuming. Please be mindful. Please, please, please be mindful. Okay. 8 weeks goes by really fast, but I think you'll like the material. I think you'll like what they have going on here. The group therapy treatment planner book will probably maybe be helpful for you, both with the capstone and maybe planning your own group. So again, I think it's gonna be a great experience. You can totally do it virtually. If what's nice about virtual therapy that started post-COVID, not that COVID was nice, but this was something that came out, is like, we're able to access a lot more people due to virtual options. In this instance with doing this assignment, you can maybe 6 people don't live like directly around you in your community, but 6 people, all over the United States or all over the place in California or whatever. And so they're willing to help you. We can all get on a Zoom call and you can do it, and then you just submit your recording of your Zoom call to me so I can watch it. I'm sure you've recorded videos maybe for your professional practicum class, or so on or your professional practice class. So this shouldn't be your first rodeo recording something, but again, it's important that they're 18 years and older just for liability reasons. And remember, we're not talking about their real problems. This is supposed to be something that is like, sure, it could apply to them because you're going to talk about things that are probably very applicable to most people, but it's not meant to be like, we're really trying to help someone because of liability reasons. Okay. But there's a lot of great topics. All of us have probably experienced some form of a group, whether it be, we think of very stereotypically, we think of like drug, alcohol type groups, or, in Christian context, we might think about Celebrate Recovery. We might think of Bible studies. If you've been part of anything in a high school setting where it's a group or a youth group setting, group is something we do quite often, but it doesn't always have a label of like helping, but there's so many different ways from a psychological perspective that we can really help people through group, whether it be grief, whether it be anxiety, mindfulness, substance abuse, parenting, specialized things like working with specialized groups like spectrum disorders or oppositional defiance or anger management, there are so many groups that are out there nowadays. There's a group for all of the things, right? um, and so this is something that you can reach a lot of people at one time. There's something beautiful about group because I have some clients right now doing a DBT group for personality disorder, and it's one thing to learn from one person, like one-on-one therapy, but it's another thing to hear from your peers, somebody else that's experiencing something similar to you, because you don't feel as alone. And oftentimes people feel very alone in their world, and counseling can maybe give them information, but it's validating to know that you're not alone and someone else is struggling and they're getting through it too. And there's a lot of hope in that. Group is about instilling hope a lot, but there's a lot you have to learn as a clinician so you maintain that control and composure, because therapy can get wild when it's just one-on-one, but it gets even more wild when it's family. So when you have 6 people in a space or more, there's a lot of personalities, there's a lot of dynamics, there's a lot of things that can go well, and there's a lot of things that could not. And so as a leader, you have to learn how to facilitate that and hone that in. And that's some of what we'll be talking about and learning in this process, because it's not just getting a group of people together and talking about anxiety. It's a lot more than that. So I look forward to walking you through this process, this first session of summer. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and welcome to Human Communication in Group.